is 6 o'clock, and this is a work session of Christiansburg Town Council. We have two things on our agenda: a discussion by Mayor and Council of the Farmers Market, and a budget amendment for fiscal year 2019-2020. So there is no public comments from staff, from the audience tonight. First being the Farmers Market. And I'd like to first just give you all a general idea. Over the last 3 years, our average budget for the farmers market has been $7,364. That is 0.00013% of our total budget based on $54 million. I think we have spent and wasted enough time on discussion. It is my thought and recommendation that we can continue to have the farmers market on Thursdays in the space that we have. Is there any?
What was the amount?
The amount of the
budget?
Percentage?
No.
The average amount for 3 years was $7,364. And through 2.5 years, which is through January 20th, we've spent a total average of $5,000 a year. So we've never used the full budget on it. We probably have enough saved up to fund another year. But anyway.
May I make a comment, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
The reason this is on the agenda for tonight is the Finance Committee met last Monday. I think it was last Monday. Was it last Monday?
Yeah.
Feels like last Monday.
They all run together.
Okay. And basically, the budget amendment, which is the grist of our conversation this evening, the farmers market was brought up because one aspect of the budget amendment relates to special events and so forth. And so the Finance Committee felt like at least a brief discussion, thumbs up or thumbs down on the farmers market in general, is all that was needed to begin the conversation with. And if whatever direction council wants to head with that, then the grist of the discussion was focused towards the budget amendment itself. So this isn't the meeting where we're going to talk about the long-term, plans for the farmers market. I think, Henry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the gist of this tonight, was basically to check council's pulse on, continuing with the farmers market where it is this year, and then flows into the budget amendment. That's all I want to say on that.
I'll pick up on that. I've been very impressed with a couple of things concerning the farmers market, and one of the things was the emails that have come out during the last week from different people in the community. And in fact, I think I just saw one today from Joey Simmons, and you don't see that often. His son, okay. Son. And about supporting it. And I also have seen that the work that Andrew has done, trying to work on the grant for that location. And I see, that I would support keeping it where it is right now for another year. And I know we're not going to cover things like this tonight, but I know there was some talk about Saturdays, but I think that maybe Thursday would be the same, but maybe even just changing the hours from 4 to 8 instead of 3 to 7, and so we can maybe have some nighttime activities in there, some church choirs and some bands and things of that nature go on there. So I'm going to support keeping the farmers market where it is for another year.
Well, okay, so I am a downtown business owner, and I find it interesting that you want to support the farmers market. Now, when you said the business meeting that we should just shut it down, so I don't know from where that comment came from. But anyway, so
Frustration.
well, that's not what you said. You said we should just shut it down. So anyway, so now you're coming out over here saying that we should keep it open. Here is my concerns. First one, I have made a lot of things online trying to ask the input from people, and the majority of the community have said we need to have, first of all, a different location. Second of all, we need different times. And third of all, I think it was the date. I agree with them. I agree with them for different reasons. I think we shouldn't be having a farmer's market that is not doing what it was supposed to be doing. Is dividing the people instead of uniting us. Instead of bringing people downtown, like I really like the email that you have sent out or the letter that you gave us the other day. I am all for having more events downtown. I think it's exciting. I think people come out. I think it's a really good use of our tax-paying money. Now, the reason why this came out the last time at the business meeting also was because we are going to think about hiring not just one person to do an events coordination, but also hire a second person to be, instead of being part-time, to full-time. This was all brought up because of the farmer's market. Now, my son, Andrew, which is 12 years old, we go to the farmer's market almost the whole summer. We come out really late. Bishop is always there. I don't ever see the majority of, actually, I've never seen any of you guys over there unless there's an
You haven't been there at the right times. I'm there about every week.
Well, so when I go over there, you haven't been there. But anyway, so here it is something that I have done with my son, Andrew. And here it is the thing that we have been talking about. We have 2 downtown streets. One is pretty much government offices. The second street is businesses, and the majority of them are offices. The only real restaurant down there is Macaro's, and unless you go on Franklin Street, you find the Mockingbird, which, by the way, is almost pretty much closed every time the farmer's market is going on. Now you move over here, we own this location right here. This is Downtown Park. I'm not against the farmer's market. I am against the location. I think it's a wrong location. Here is a map of what our downtown park looks like right now. There is a really beautiful space down there that is not being used the way it should be used. We have downtown parking. We would have really talked about. Here is the park. It's a really nice park. I take my kids over there. I have 4 kids. I take them over there all the time. Now, what can we do with this? We can do a lot of things. We can have a nice picnic area on this location if we were to do something like that. And then on this location, we can have something. So I think we need to look at all the options. When you do something and you don't do it right, or something is not working, you don't keep investing the same tax dollars in the same place. So anyway, my point is, I think we should, we can have a front entrance that is a little bit changed. You can look at this. This is the picnic stuff that I was talking about. I think it looks really nice. You can have the front entrance fixed up with flowers and things like that. This is the downtown park. All it takes is for us to move, or we can actually even leave the basketball thing in there. As far as location, what I'm really talking, I talked to Macaro's yesterday. Macaro's people are very upset. They're like, you guys crushed our business, closing the street. I talked to the Presbyterian church. They were also against it. They're like, if we continue to use their parking, they're going to start charging us.
Now hold it. I'm a member of the Presbyterian Church.
Well, I talked to your pastor yesterday.
And Don, I know, would not say we're against the farmer's market being there.
Well, he did say yesterday. So I guess you'll have to go back and talk to him. So anyway, all my point is that we can have a nice farmer's market. This is not a very nice drawing, and you can have a water fountain if you wanted to do that. And you can bring some art down there. You can bring a wall over here where you can have some wings or something painted in there where kids can take pictures of, the parents can take pictures of the kids. It's hopscotching over there. I mean, there's a lot we can do with this park.
Where are you gonna park the cars?
Right here on the street, and there's parking over here.
Well, first, I'm gonna step in right here. We're talking about, Joanna said she supports the farmer's market when it comes to programming or location. That's something that can be handled next year when the streets shut down. And that's for staff to work out and come. But you're in support of the farmer's market.
Well,
That's the whole
in a
point.
different place.
But you're in support of a farmer's market. Yes?
I think it should be done by regular business owners. I don't think we should be involved in doing that.
So
I
are you
think
for a farmer's market or not?
I am in the edge on that one because I think we should encourage business owners to do it
Joanna, you
themselves.
said three things. You said you're in favor of it, you said you're in favor of it, but not where it is, and then you just said you want the business community to run a farmer's market. So which one is it? Because we're here tonight
Well,
only
that's,
for the budget amendment of saying we're going to approve hiring moving this person from part-time to full-time.
well,
That's the only reason
if
we're here
it's
tonight.
not
We're not
gonna be
about
located
programming.
about somewhere else, I am opposing the decision to continue to have a farmer's market. Why? Because of the location.
Mr. Stokes, how do
End
you
of day.
feel?
I've done research since last Monday's meeting, and I also was frustrated with the dialogue last Monday, and I said, well, maybe we just need to do away with it, but that's why we have this meeting, is to check council's pulse, and I'm satisfied that the course that we're on right now is the right course. I think the community likes the farmer's market. I think we can discuss all these other possibilities for the future. That's something we can take up separately. But I also like Mr. Epperly's plans for special events and adding some more attention to our special events. So I'm in favor of both the farmer's market. I'm also in favor of the farmer's market where it is. And one thing that's been on our agenda as a council, and I've mentioned this to Mr. Bishop and Ms. Sachs at the Central Business Committee up to a year ago, is about reopening up Hickok Street most of the time. And long before this discussion, that's something that I'd also like to discuss, maybe, if we need to bring back next meeting or something. But that's come to the surface here. This issue has brought that back to the surface. So anyway, yes on both. Yes, farmer's market, and yes for where we're headed with the Brad's plan.
Randy, do we have to put that on the agenda to officially vote to open up Hickok?
Yes, I think you should, since officially it was
So I'd like,
closed by
next.
council action, so I think
We just put it on about 15 minutes
What's gonna
ago.
make a difference with that too is the ARP grant, options.
Like I said, I didn't want to get into the diatribe, but that's exactly right. We're
Right.
researching what's at risk
Randy,
here.
you were supposed to look into the New River Valley Commission thing. Do you find out any information about trying to be able to use that grant money somewhere else besides Hickok Street?
we can. It would be eligible for other uses, so it basically, I think it's possible that it could be other uses.
Okay, so we do have an agreement that it can be somewhere else.
As long
Okay.
as it's kind of in the.
Has the grant been awarded yet?
It is not, no.
So if they say no, then no, they don't get the grant.
Well,
But there is possibilities. I think Kevin even stated that he was gonna check into that.
Yes, and it is possible it could be used at another location. I think it would have to be kind of in one of those planning areas of either downtown Denver or the midtown area in order to be eligible, but I think it fall under that.
Mr. Bishop?
Okay. As been pointed out, I'm done about every week. I talk to the vendors, I talk to the customers. And for the most I've heard is, they appreciate the farmer's market. They have no desire to close the farmer's market. Some of the things that brought up is, the Hickok Street may not be the best location. But, once again, no one has said to me, let's shut the farmer's market down. So I'm still in favor of the farmer's market, its current location.
now,
Ms.
you were
Sachs,
talking
how do you
about the budget,
I'm
Mr.
sorry, I have a
Barber.
question on the table, Ms. Sachs. What's your thoughts?
I really appreciated all the responses we got by email, and I thought Ms. Ray's was very spot on. She's got extreme knowledge. So hers is based on facts going back several years of the inception. So after reading all of those and the comments, it's more overwhelming to keep it and keep it where it is right now, and then work later on any changes we can make to improve it.
Yeah,
So
we have
right
it right
now
now, we're gonna
it's-
have a year that street's gonna be
Uh-huh.
inoperable anyway, and something's gonna have to move somewhere.
Right. So I vote as is where it is.
So, 5-1.
So that's all we
In
need
this
for now.
budget over here, Mr. Barber, you didn't put in there the $45,000 that you want to pay for an events coordinator.
It comes out of recreation.
That's Parks and Rec.
That's Parks and Recreation.
That's part of Parks and Recreation, but that's still part of the budget. So should I get, I
Well, he's not
guess,
gonna, we're not gonna pay
I guess I'm gonna
$45,000.
want to have an
We're not gonna pay
independent,
$45,000 for a farmer's market manager. This person's gonna have about 15 or 20 other things to do. So no, I don't consider that as part of the budget. Whoever we hire is on salary to the
Okay.
town.
so I guess we have to ask for an independent audit to make sure that we got the right numbers for the farmer's market. Because the reality is, all these bills for the farmer's market
I am
showing
not-
up under printing and supplies, they better be changed. Because this is not, printing and supplies for events is not the right ethical thing to do. And I don't ever want to see this again, and it shouldn't take 12 hours for our accounting people to do their job, trying to find out about,
Ms. Hicks,
This
I'm
farmer's
sorry,
market
but I
bills.
disagree with you,
I do
and
too.
that discussion, as far as I'm concerned, is over.
Let's move on with it.
printing and
We're gonna, let's move
supplies.
on.
I guess you guys are okay with this.
Yep,
We can move on.
we can move on, we're good.